If you spend any amount of time on YouTube, you will see video after video after video of the best games, the 10-10 games, the greatest games for each system. Either that or you'll see the worst games. But what about all those games in the middle? The games that are still good, but they're not like 10-10, the greatest thing ever. But they're still solid games. Those games that kind of flew under the radar. That's what I want to talk about today. 10 modern great RPGs that didn't really get the recognition that they so deserved. And hey y'all, if you are new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe for some more top 10 lists, news, and reviews, and smash that like button to show the love. And now, let's get going over some of these really good games. First up, number 1, The Alliance Alive. Released for the PS4, Nintendo Switch, the 3DS, mobile, and PC. I personally first played this game back when it was released on the 3DS, but whenever I saw that it was getting ported over to the modern consoles and then upgraded to HD, I happily forked over some money to experience this gem again. This proves that a well-told story with a robust saga-inspired battle system, complete with glimmering techniques, fast forwarding, and full restoration after battle can still be done solidly today. The characters are fun and they're introduced in a multi-party chapter system, complete with a gorgeous, fully explorable world map filled to the brim with treasures. I love that there's still a market for classic turn-based JRPGs in today's gaming landscape that's filled with gritty Western games, indie Earthbound and Chrono Trigger wannabes, and incredibly boring high school angst simulators. I just wish that we can get more classic RPGs like this. Number 2, Crystal Project, released for the PC. This is a real gem of an indie game. I honestly haven't played anything like it. It's kind of essentially what would happen if you mashed up The Legend of Zelda with 3D Dot Game Heroes as well as Final Fantasy V. This is a completely open world game where you control 4 warriors of light, then you go off exploring the open world, beating up bosses and lighting crystals, which then give you more jobs, kinda like in Final Fantasy V. The battles are turn-based and each region is distinctly beautiful and fun to traverse. The exploration is just top-notch. Here you explore open regions and you fight in turn-based battles, collect crystals to unlock new jobs, and then go from town to outfit your team. I would love to see a new Brave the Default game done in a very similar open region manner like this. Number 3, Harvest Stella, released for the Nintendo Switch and PC. If you think that this is just some sort of like Harvest Moon knockoff, then think again. Because not only is this something more like Rune Factory, honestly, I actually found it something much more akin to like Secret of Mana, really. I mean, yeah, it does have those farming and sim elements, as well as a time system for NPCs, and a schedule that you do need to keep track of, as well as crafting. But that's like maybe like 20% of the game. The vast majority of it is instead focusing on exploring the beautiful, seasonally themed environments, the towns, delving deep into dungeons, kicking ass and experimenting with all the different jobs available to you, as well as the many different party members that are given to you. This beautiful game tells a captivating tale of love and loss, and it's not something that you'll forget soon. Just go and wrap yourself up with this on a cozy night at home. Number 4, Lost Sphere, released for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PC. I love this traditional RPG for the same creators of I Am Setsuna. Here, the very world around you itself has been transformed into a white void called Lost, and memories of the past are vanishing, and the world itself is on the brink of extinction. So it's up to you to save the world and its memories from becoming lost forever and restore it to its original form. It'll probably come as no surprise to you that I just love the gameplay, because it mixes aspects from the traditional Final Fantasies along with Chrono Trigger to create something old school yet special. I do know that Tokyo RPG Factory games aren't the most well received, but I found these two charming and I definitely had a good time with both of them. Number 5, Star Ocean: The Divine Force, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. We can credit this fantastic game with the revitalization of the Star Ocean series. This really turned it all around, as the Legacy series was teetering on the brink of extinction until this came around to save the day. Tri-Ace did not try to reinvent the wheel here. Instead, they just went back to the basics and back to what worked, with 2 protagonists, multiple planets to explore, hidden unique characters, and super fun fast-paced combat along with a riveting storyline, not to mention the ability to fly both in and out of battle. And not only is this a great game, but we also have it to thank for the absolutely amazing Star Ocean 2 remake that we just received. As long as they just keep on pushing out games of this quality, I do think that Star Ocean is here to stay. Number 6, the Atelier Risa Trilogy, released for the Nintendo Switch, PS4 and 5, and PC. Instead of just one game, we're going to talk about a trilogy here. Now, I was never the biggest fan of the mainline Atelier series, but the spin-offs on the PS2 were always great. However, all that changed with Risa. Now, I will be the first to admit that I am a full-blooded American man. I'm not blind, and, sex sells. So I went out and picked up the first one based upon, Lent and his super hot, sexy body. But let's be honest, I wasn't expecting too much of a good game behind that great body. However, what I actually found was a really fun jaunt and a riveting storyline, a super fun fast-paced turn-based combat system, and massive open areas to explore. And with each game being a direct sequel of the last, you really do get to watch all the characters that you know and love grow up alongside with you. I absolutely adored this entire trilogy, and I do think that you will too. Number 7, Rhapsody, Marl Kingdom Chronicles, released for the Nintendo Switch, PS5, and PC. Do y'all remember that first Rhapsody game that came out in the original PlayStation way back in the day? Well, I do. I played it back then, and while it was kind of odd, it was still an enjoyable experience. However, I didn't know that there were 2 sequels that were stuck in Japan for over 2 decades. But thankfully, this compilation rectifies that because now they've been translated into English for our enjoyment. So here, you can go back and relive your childhood years and cozy on up to some old friends and dive back into the Marl Kingdom to see what everybody's up to. Now though, it does come with some modern quality of life improvements, as well as completely redesigned and overhauled battle system. So this definitely is the definitive way to play these 2 great sequels. Number 8, Alterium Shift, released for the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PC. Now, this is a great one that really did fly under the radar. I first reviewed it back when the demo dropped like a year ago, but unfortunately, when the full game dropped, it went up against Final Fantasy XVI, and that in and of itself kind of doomed it to obscurity. However, this is an HD 2D turn-based indie masterpiece that utilizes a choose-your-own-hero system, kind of similar to that SNES hidden gem, The Magical Land of Woz. The story and gameplay will play out differently depending on who you choose, encounters occur on screen, and the world map and graphics are just glorious. So come on and choose your own adventure and save the world from the threat of the Dark Elves. Number 9, The Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie, released for the Nintendo Switch, PS4 and 5, and PC. I kind of feel like this one may have flew under the radar too. I mean, at least as far as Trails games go. Considering that there is a lot of background information that you're going to need to be aware of in order to fully enjoy this game, it is kind of a tall order to fill. But if you do have the pertinent background information, you will not only find a fantastic game, but also a thrilling conclusion of the Crossbell and Erebonian arcs, as well as the setup for the Calvard arc hits this coming summer. Here you play out 3 different concurrent stories starring Reen, Lloyd, and the Mysterious Sea, as they fight together to once again free Calvard and traverse the Reverie Corridor to power up your characters, fight and build up your dream teams, and then go up against super powerful bosses. This really isn't a good place to start with the series, but it definitely is a great ending to those 2 sagas. And finally, number 10, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, released for the Nintendo Switch. This here stars Sorrow of Dragon Quest IV fame, but before he's known as the Manslayer. Instead, this takes place during his teenage years, and here he's been put under a curse by his father, which makes it so that he can't harm monsters, and as such, he's taken refuge in Rose Hill, which is also known as Rosaville, and here he stumbles across an elf named Rose, who's being persecuted and chased by humans because she cries ruby tears. So, in order to protect her, he erects a tower for her to live in, as he himself goes off on a journey to Endor to prove his strength in the tournament and get revenge on his father. Only, the human world isn't enough, so he is to also go into the underworld, Nadiria, and prove his strength there before ultimately confronting his father and lifting the curse. So that's it for the top 10 best modern RPGs that need your attention. Did I miss any? Let me know what your favorites are. And let's get a discussion going on here, and let's all talk and chat about it, because I'm always in the comments too. And if you like what I do on the channel, please head on over to the Patreon to sign up for early access to my videos and behind the scenes photographs. The link to it is over in the video description. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.